up, everyone? I'm just gonna take my camera and put it in the holster. That's why you can't see anything right now. And I'm gonna go over to my iPhone here, and I'm gonna go to YouTube and pull up a stream. Okay, cool. Um, I noticed one thing. I have to take this message off. There's this message on the bottom. I'm gonna remove really fast. Okay, cool. So 1 second, I'm just gonna put the phone back in the holster. And I think everything should be good now. Yes. Everything should be good now. Yes, cool. Since it took me such a long time to get the phone right with the holster, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take the backpack off. I'm gonna hang it here, and the phone will be on the backpack. And this way, you guys can see me, and I don't have to go through the whole hassle of taking all that off. Okay. Let's get creative now. Okay, I think that's good. I think that's good. Let's see what it looks like. It's really high up. Sorry, I didn't bring a tripod. So I'm looking for a place to put the camera. Maybe I can put it here. That's way too high. Um, Maybe I can just put it on the bike. Alright, that's really low, but that's better than it being too high. What does that look like? What's up, everyone? How is y'all doing? How is everyone doing today? I wanted to stream, but I was like out making a video, so I was like roaming around. Anybody in the chats over here? This is so crooked. I'm like seeing it the same angle you guys see it. That's what I'm talking about. When you become a multimillionaire, invite that to your home. What up, everyone? What is up? I'm just curious. What's everyone up to today? What is everyone up to today? So far, I've had a pretty chill day. I'm gonna take you guys around the city for a little bit. I figured out a way to clip the phone onto my backpack, and I can, if the phone's fully charged, like the phone's fully charged now, I can have the phone clipped to my backpack, and then I can take the microphone and plug it into the phone, and I can have the microphone clipped like right here on me, and I could just be riding, cruising through the streets. You guys could, you know, cruise with me live. Oh, it's actually kind of choppy here. Since it's choppy, I'm just gonna go ahead and take off because the stream is really choppy. But I'm just gonna put the microphone in, right, and it's gonna be plugged up to the camera. It's really windy outside today. One thing I must point out. This is why I would have just did a regular live stream with the skateboard, but it's a little too windy for that. So now I am going to get ready to clip myself up. It's like these things can be too long or they can be too short. This one right now is gonna be really long. So I'm gonna clip this here. You guys will be able to hear me. I'm gonna clip this part here. I may respond to the chats as much because I'm gonna be writing. All right, let's try this out. I don't know what this is gonna be like. I don't know if this is gonna be really shaky or bumpy or whatever, but we'll give it a shot. See you later. Is it straight? There's that wind. I want to see what the video looks like before I take off. Okay, there we go. I think that's better. Okay, internet should get better in a second. I'm getting away from this area. It's all like locked in. Okay, guys, I'll talk in a second. For the most part, when it's this windy outside, it's very difficult to talk because it's so loud that I feel like I have to talk like louder than what it sounds, you know? I'm gonna try to take a route that's not as windy, like not direct winds. We're gonna do some zigzagging. We can go over by. We'll go over by the AT&T park if the stream is like not too windy and not too choppy. I understand the camera may be a little shaky. I'm gonna check the comments because I have not been checking the comments. I'm just curious, can you guys hear me? Does it sound okay or does it sound really windy? I'm just curious, does it sound really windy? No wind sounds? Are you serious? Holy cow. Like, it's so windy out here, yo. Please go, 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 go. Holy cow, that's amazing you guys can't hear any wind sounds. Like, it feels like someone is like standing next to me, blowing into my ear. That's what it feels like. I mean, it doesn't feel like that right now because I'm talking, but like back there when I was on Embarcadero, the main street, it was so windy. It's just, I can't even hear myself talk, you know? That's crazy. You guys can hear me clearly. That is insane. What about the video quality? What is the video quality looking like? Not too great, huh? I'm gonna let all these cars go. Cause I'm going slower than normal because I don't want the video to be too shaky. Yeah, I don't want the video to be too choppy, so I'm kind of not really going my normal speed. My normal speed, I probably would have went in front of those cars. Let's take Samsung. My gosh, so windy right here. Let's see what the comments looking like. Guys, I feel like this stream is like, you guys are saying yes. Some people say no, it's not that shaky. Yeah, it's not that shaky when I'm not moving. Like, no. When I start moving again, especially on this bumpy road. I probably shouldn't be on Samson if I'm trying to make a freaking video. You can also tell I'm going mad slow because there's this non-electric bike that's like passing me casually. I mean, I know some people are gonna say like, yo, you're always running red lights, but it's bad to blow red lights, right? If you blow a red light blindly, it's bad to do that. But if you stop at a green light, if you stop at a red light and all the cars go by and you're in downtown, and what I mean by downtown, these really small streets where like you can see the cars coming and then the cars aren't going 65 miles an hour like a freeway, you know? I didn't say it's okay to, run through the red light, but if there's nothing coming, I mean, it's up to, it's your decision, but if there's nothing coming, like I'm not gonna just happily wait there, you know what I'm saying? I'm just gonna keep it moving. And if I'm in a bad neighborhood, yo, I might not ever come to a complete stop. Like usually when I'm making deliveries and I'm going through like a bad neighborhood, or not a bad neighborhood, but like somewhat of a sketch neighborhood, you know, or it's late at night or early in the morning or something. Yeah, usually I don't stop at all. Even if those cars coming, like I just try not to come to a complete stop, you know. That doesn't exactly mean I go run straight through the red light, but what that means is like maybe I'll like go through the light and sort of like turn and then cut over and then continue going straight. Something like that. Okay, I'm gonna go to this cookie shop real fast. I got really good cookies there. Hey, how's it going? Oh, thanks. You have two vegan chocolate chips? Yeah, just two of those. Yeah, that's it. Okay. Okay. Apple Pay. Yeah, at the cookie shop. Masks are mandatory. Yeah. These guys love the fog boiler. I love the fog. Okay. It's okay. Thanks. Cool beans. So I know a place I can go to chill for a second. I don't know if it's gonna be windy though. That's the only problem. I think it will be windy though. Actually, let's go the other way. I think it's gonna be windy. I was gonna go to my favorite park there. Well, one of many of my favorite parks. I was gonna go, but the reason why I don't want to go is I just don't want to go because I know it's gonna be windy there. Oh, you could take this out. Cool. What was that sound? I'm trying to figure out why is it so a lot of good orders are popping up right now. How is the weather? It's cold. Where have you been? I haven't been around too much. Actually, I've been out like the past couple of days. I've been doing deliveries again. You know, since you have to wear a mask to go everywhere now, it's like yo, I might as well go back and do deliveries now. So I've been doing deliveries like today. I think I rode like at least 60 miles today. 50, 60 miles. I can check the app when we go over here. But I've been out riding today. Gotten how to get across these streets, yo. Wow, it is busy over here. People are talking about the Apple stores are closed. That Apple store behind me is open. So maybe they're not closing Apple stores everywhere. I'll go sit down over here for a second. Whoa. Wow. All right, this is not working. So what I'll do is I'm just gonna hold the phone. That's what I'll do. I'll just hold it, or I'll just take it off the backpack. Cool. So what's going on? The screen went black. Is it back? Can you guys see now? Is it good now? Yes, yes, yes. Yes, yes, yes. The video is back. I'll just hang out with you guys here for a minute because what I'm trying to do is just like not working. That's okay. Every now and then what you want to do just doesn't work. I really hope this guy is not walking up to me right now. There's a guy coming over here. I really hope he's not. I think he just noticed me because I just sat down over here. Yeah. Oh, it's good now. I mean, it looks good on my end. Yeah. It is back. So what is up, everyone? Tell me your story. What's good? Stock market's horrible today, yo. You take those days. Some of those days are good days. Not every day is a great day. Love your attitude, Jermaine. Very positive vibes. You guys think I'm positive vibes? It's freaking awesome. I try to keep positive vibes, yo. I think positive vibes, they create positive experiences. They create positive vibes, create positive outcomes. You know. But also, I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes when you go into a situation and you're expecting the worst, like you think that oh, it's not gonna work out. It's not gonna work out. It's not gonna work out, and then it ends up working out. Sometimes you can walk away from that situation and you just feel so great because you're just like, wow, it worked out. It worked out like it wasn't what you thought it was. Okay, once again. Trying to finagle the phone so I don't have to hold it. How come this is just not working for me? Here we go. Will this work? Yes, this will work. Check that out. This is actually gonna work for me. Like I can be hands free and like stream. Cool, nice to see you. So I tried to do a biking video with the phone. Doesn't really work so great because of I need to get some sort of phone gimbal. I don't think a phone gimbal exists because why would you have a phone gimbal connected to your backpack? It's kind of like too specialized of a product. People are cool. That is NYC. Yeah, it's chilly out here, y'all. Dodge is booming. Really, Dodge is booming. I haven't paid Dodge any attention. I want to know. If you want to know how to get Dodge, you can go to Robinhood. Um, hmm. Sherlock Holmes, you actually really did. You actually really go on. What are your views on Tattoo Chef? Guys, Tattoo Chef. This is a tough one because if you follow the Monster story, like Monster Energy Drink, back before it was Monster, it was like Henson's or whatever. It's kind of looking like Tattoo Chef could do something very similar to what Monster did. There's all this negative press about Tattoo Chef right now. There's all this, negative stuff about Tattoo Chef, right? So if they continue to grow and continue to like get in more places, well, it won't be negative stuff about Tattoo Chef anymore. It'll be like people buying more of their products and their shares. So I don't know. Like I actually jumped on Tattoo Chef. I got 100 shares of Tattoo Chef earlier this week. I'm freaking down on it. I actually got 100 shares of Tattoo Chef, and then I got a weekly on Tattoo Chef. So I missed out on that. But so what? I think I'm gonna keep the shares, and I think I am gonna buy more. I think I am going to buy more Uber shares. Not buy more tattoo shares. You have HIV? Really? Wow, that's crazy. Did you just find out? CT is really attractive right now. You know, it's definitely on sale. I'll put it like that. These cookies are like super hard, yo. They're like super hard. BA is a good player. Stream video isn't playing on my end. I can hear you though. Oh, the stream is not playing? I'm curious. Is this stream working for other people? Audio good, but video is frozen. Oh, really? Jeez, the video is frozen. That's a bummer. I don't think it was frozen on my end. Yeah, it is frozen on my end. No, it's not. Yeah, it is frozen on my end. You said go ask the Apple Store. I guess I could go ask the Apple Store, but like, sure, you just can't like walk in there. You probably gotta wait in line. I'm gonna restart the video. I'm gonna restart the video. All right, is that better now? I think you guys should be able to hear me now and see me. Yes, I think that's better, right? I see myself moving on here, so. Thought it was more fun for a second. I'm at 300 plus almost 400 a month in dividends now, Jermaine. That's pretty dope, yo. I mean, a lot of dividends. So do you mainly buy dividend stocks? Do you buy a lot of other stocks, or you just like dividend stocks? What am I riding right now? I'm riding the KBO. I am riding the KBO. So better video working again. Yup. Oh, you saw me when my board got effed up? Which time? Because it got ran over by a bus once. And then the right before it got ran over by a bus, I had another one that got ran over by an SUV. Jermaine, hi from Melody in Colombia. Bro, females are so hot here. No, I'm diversified with growth stocks as well. Cause I know a couple people, they only buy dividend stocks.
And the reason why they do it is because of, it pays dividends, and then they use the dividends to buy more dividends, or they use the dividends to buy different stocks. So it's definitely a strategy. What are your thoughts on Lucid Motors? I'm just gonna keep it real. I I don't really know much about Lucid. One thing I do know is I don't really like the cars as much. But another thing, I don't know that much about them. I will say this: starting a car company is not easy. It's not easy and it's not cheap. So I'm not necessarily saying that they're gonna crash, but what I'm saying is like it's not easy. Like it's a very, very difficult task, and it takes a long time. It takes a lot of trial and error. You know. Where are you from? You travel a lot. I used to travel a lot. I wish I can travel now. I'm from Tennessee, Memphis, Tennessee. But I really love to average down on dividend stocks. Oh, you like to average down? Will you consider a one wheel? Uh, Probably not. Probably like bikes more. I think I like bikes way more than one wheels like that. I mean, they have really good range. I'm not gonna knock them, but I don't know. I'd rather a bike versus a one wheel. I like to ride the skateboard, but I don't want to ride the skateboard all the time. Would rather ride the bike than the skateboard. I'd rather skateboard if it's a type of situation where I don't want to leave a bike outside on the street. But if I know I can go somewhere and I have a safe place to put the bike in, I'd rather just take the bike. Jermaine, do you ever discuss marijuana stocks? Yeah, my biggest one is Planet 13. That's my biggest one. How long have you been doing YouTube videos? Like 5 or 6 years. The cookies are from Samino Cookies. Basically, these are the best cookies ever. You can get these downtown, but they're originally from New York. They're originally from New York, and that's when I first heard about them. And they opened up a location here in the city a couple of months ago. Do you support? Um, you guys support them? Hey, Jermaine, what are some safety tips you got for first-time bikers in the city? Yo, one thing I would say is be extra careful on the weekends because you have a lot of people. This is one of a very, very important thing I would always tell people. Be careful on the weekends. And the reason why I say be extra careful on the weekends, you just have a lot of people in the city and they are from outside the city. They're not used to driving in the city. They're not used to all the bikers, all the people pulling out, all the cars stopping. They're just not used to all this, right? And you just gotta remind yourself that, on the weekends you got a lot of people driving fast, a lot of people driving, you know, running red lights, doing U-turns. You just have to be extra careful, and there's just more traffic out. Now, I'm not saying during the week, oh, you good, you can do whatever you want. Well, during the week, you still want to watch out. But you want to be extra careful on the weekends, you know. Be extra careful because I've seen people get hit by cars and they just keep driving, you know. And it's like it's a messed up situation. So just on the weekends, definitely be extra careful. Try to take streets. Try to go out of your way and take streets that are not busy. Okay, just try to do that. Or if you're on a busy street, it's a whole lot of cars. Hey, if it ain't nobody on the sidewalk, I didn't say right on the sidewalk, but if there's a sidewalk, there's no one on the sidewalk, and you think you can get to the next block safely, you know, there may be, a sidewalk there. You know what I mean? Like I'm not trying to tell anybody to use the sidewalk, but if you have common sense, like you would, you can pick and choose whatever you want to do. But yeah, that's one thing I would say, like be extra careful on the weekends, yo. Other things, make sure your bike, make sure you don't have no quick release on your seat or your wheels. That's a really bad idea to have quick release on your seat or your wheels because someone could just walk by and they're just they don't even want to steal anything, but they just walk by and see, oh wow, there's a wheel right here, let's just take it, So you don't make yourself an easy target. Please don't leave your bike out overnight. Another thing, be extra careful with leaving your bike in the Soma neighborhood. Be extra careful, okay? Because people steal bikes in Soma all the time. And I don't know, you got any other questions? Michael? By this time next year, I really want to be at least 1,000 a month or close. That would be dope, $1,000 a month in dividends. I think the easiest place to arrive in the city is Golden Gate Park. Yeah, for sure. I know this place, maybe the Academy Music. No, I'm in the middle of the city though. Are you seeing Soma? Yeah, be careful about Soma, yo. If you're going in somewhere for like maybe 2 or 3 minutes, you might be okay leaving your bike out on the street. But I went into that Target on 4th Street. I went into that Target once and stayed in there like 4 minutes and came out and my bike was stolen. So you just you just want to be careful. Like, I can't really say like how long, but one thing to point out is you don't want to leave anything out longer than like, you just don't want to leave anything out a couple hours. That's a really bad idea. If you ever notice when you're walking in Soma, if you ever see a cut bike lock, you know what that means? That means that someone probably got their bike stolen there. So like, if you ever see, a cut bike lock, that's telling you like, yo, this spot is a spot where things can happen. What's going on, yo? Another thing to point out is like, that's the same thing when you park in a car. Like if you see glass on the street, that means somebody just got their car broken into. So if you park your car right there, like that's telling you that you can be the next victim, I live in Soma/TO. You say watch out for potholes and cracks in the street, homie. Yep. You definitely want to watch out for potholes, yo. What's quick release? Quick release is those wheels, and you can take the wheel off without having any tools. That's quick release. Golden Gate Park is probably the easiest place in the city to ride a bike, no joke. Especially after COVID, super easy to ride a bike there, yo. They closed out so many streets. Oh yeah, if you can bring your bike inside of a building, always do so. Like always do so. Like always do so. So at Target, I see a lot of people bring their bikes into Target, and they don't say anything to people because they know people at Target know if you park it outside, it's probably gonna get stolen. Also, if you if you're doing deliveries and stuff like that, it's kind of insane. But there are like a lot of buildings now that'll actually let you bring your bike into the building. I think it's a trip, but they will for real. They just let you bring your bike in because they already know that like it's probably gonna get stolen if it's outside. You know, there's a handful of buildings in Soma, like the high rise buildings. Some of them, there's even one building. It's at like Third and Mission. They let me bring my bike all the way upstairs, yo. Like I had a delivery on like the 15th floor. They let me take my bike all the way up to the 15th floor, and it was dope because like the things that they wanted were like heavy, and I had them in the basket on the bike. So like it was just like super chill. It was just like I just took the bike all the way upstairs, went up, parked next to the door, like picked up all the heavy stuff, put it there, rung the doorbell, and left. Why SF have too many homeless? I mean, I don't really know about why SF has a lot of homeless there. I've been hearing of a lot. I've been hearing some pretty. Recently, I heard a pretty interesting theory about why SF has so many homeless people. I heard it. I don't know. I'll share it with you, but someone was saying something along the lines of this. They're saying that like I don't know how much this makes sense, but like I don't knock it. Like I'll listen to what people have to say. I hear some pretty insane things, right? I heard someone say something along the lines of, "There's so many homeless people in San Francisco because I don't know if this is true, but this is their theory because this is just a when people come here, it's very easy to fall in love with this place, right? It's very easy because if you come from somewhere else, like you can come here and it's just like always people out, it's always stuff going on, it's always people drinking, it's always people smoking, it's just always that going on all the time, right? And it's just very easy to come here and want to live this life when you actually can't, right? So I think like I think one thing that happens is like you have a lot of people come here and maybe they're doing good here for a certain amount of time. Maybe they stop talking to their family, okay? Maybe they stop talking to their family, don't do any of that, and then all of a sudden they sort of like find themselves spiraling out of control because I'm just gonna keep it real. I'm gonna keep it very real. This is 100, y'all. San Francisco is somewhat of a dead end city for majority of people that will ever come here and that live here. But it's somewhat of a dead end city for a lot of people. And what I mean by that is for a lot of people, they come here and if you're like literally not progressing, you sort of hit a wall. You sort of get stuck, you sort of get pinned up. You sort of get pinned up in like this, you sort of get pinned up in this sort of like position where you can't move, right? You're away from your family, okay? So you're not dealing with your family anymore. And this typically happens to people when they're in their like 40s and 50s. One thing I've noticed about this city, right? So you lose your family, okay? So you don't deal with them anymore. Maybe your folks have died or whatever. Maybe they're still alive and you just don't talk to them anymore. Maybe you don't talk to your cousins, your brothers, because you come here, you just get really different. You start thinking different. You just have you change everything, right? And then you get to a point where like you're not progressing anymore. And then usually this typically happens to people who don't have children, okay? Like they typically don't have children, so like they don't have that to fall back for. They typically are not in a relationship, so they don't have that to fall back for. Or maybe they're in and out of relationships, which is very common around here. So eventually a person just gets to a breaking point where, like, once again, you're the type of person, like, you don't make a lot of money. You don't have a lot of things. You don't have a lot of things, like, you don't have a lot of things to fall back on. You're not rich, right? So you ain't got mommy's inheritance. You basically, you wake up one day and you live here in this city, and what do you see? You see people struggling all the time, right? You see people struggling all the time. You see death all the time. And you wake up and you find yourself alone in the city, right? You find yourself alone in the city, and it's so entertaining, right? Maybe you don't want to hang out with the folks down there doing drugs, or maybe you do, right? But you wake up and it just hits you in the face. You find yourself alone. You can't escape it. You can't escape it. There's nothing you can do to escape it. So some people snap. Some people, like, I see some people say Golden Gate Bridge jumpers. Some people take that route. I've met people that live here that took that route, Some people take that route. They give up. They tap themselves out. But I don't think majority of people take that route. I think a lot of people take the route that they fight to the very, very end, okay? They fight to the very, very end. And basically, they tread water. They tread water to the very, very end. And I'm going to give you an example of how they tread water to the very, very end. This can happen these are observations I've had. This can happen in multiple ways. One way, I've seen it happen a lot just living in the city, and a lot of you guys have seen this too. I'm not making up any of this shit here. All of you guys have seen this. When someone gets to the point of they're in a rent control situation, this will typically knock a person down, because people that really suffer from rent control, a lot of them they're not exactly young people. They typically are older, right? They're typically 40s, 50s, 60s. Those are the people that rent control just really get, So once they get to a point of, maybe they have to move out of that rent control place and they can't find any other place. Maybe they're the type, they're fighting it to the very, very end, and they got to live there for an extra year, right? And they didn't even think they're going to get kicked out. And all of a sudden, the day comes, they got to go. They got to go. The sheriff department is there. They're taking all their things. They're putting their things out on the street, okay? Now, this is what a lot of people would call and say would be like a forced eviction. This would be, they're just kicking this person out. Who knows what that person did to get themselves to that point of they have to be thrown out? Who knows what that person did, okay? I don't know what they did, but they're at the point and they're being removed, okay? Sometimes the people that you see on the streets are people who just got kicked out and they've lost everything, okay? And the things that they have are things that just came out of their house. And what they're thinking in their head, when you see people and they have, all this stuff and they're just pushing it, and it's actually their stuff from their house, what they're actually thinking is they're thinking to themselves that I'm going to find a place. I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to figure this out. Once again, they're treading water to the very end. They're treading water to the very end. They're on the street. They're being kicked out. And now they're saying to themselves, I'm going to figure this out. I'm going to figure this out. Now, how are you going to figure this out when it is, 9 p.m. on Friday? Like, how are you going to figure this out? Okay. So once they find themselves in this situation, now they're on the street. And that's, you can get someone on the street who is living like indoors, like living in a place, and they're doing good and they're working and they're doing this and they're doing that. But then 10 years later, 20 years later, this is what happens, right? Okay, maybe maybe it's not always that way. Maybe it's a little bit different. Maybe someone does something really fucking stupid. Okay, maybe you do something really. Let me restart it really fast. Okay, question. Am I boring you guys or like am I boring you guys or should I just talk about something else? Or y'all like this or whatever? Because I don't know, man. I don't know where y'all watching from. Y'all might be like, "What the fuck are you talking about? Like, this ain't gonna ever happen to me." But that's exactly what people say, right? It's exactly what people say. I think there are things that you can do that can help you not find yourself in this situation. Okay, so another way a person can trip themselves up, right? I've seen this happen a couple times, right? You just do okay. You're the type of person you live paycheck to paycheck, and you just do something really fucking good, okay, and you get arrested. And once again, you have a job and you live paycheck to paycheck. This is why I always tell people do not rely on a fucking job. Do not rely on a job because people think, I can't believe how many people actually think that a job is security because a job is not fucking security, yo. A job is no security. A job is no security. Please listen to me say this, and I'm going to give you the perfect example why a job is no security, okay? Perfect example why a job is no security. If you're supposed to go to work tomorrow and you just don't call and don't show up, guess what? Yes, it's gonna be fair. Yeah, pretty much a no-show. But people think a job is so secure. Now, now I know back to being homeless and fucking yourself up in the city. Okay, one way you can get really fucked up. Okay, you've been living in the city. You don't talk to your family, right? You don't talk to your folks. But you know, a lot. It's very common. You people here, and they don't have a good relationship with their family because that's a one thing I always ask people like whenever I meet people that's been living in the city, hey, you talk to your family, and a lot of people literally don't talk to their family, right? For whatever reason, maybe they hate their family, maybe they hate their mom for doing whatever, or I don't know. So once again, you live paycheck to paycheck. Let's say you got a car and you're driving, you go do something stupid like get a DUI, okay? You go get arrested. Once you go get arrested on a Friday night, you go get arrested. You're supposed to work on you're supposed to work on Saturday because you got a job. You're supposed to work on Saturday. You're supposed to work on Sunday. You get arrested Friday night. Now, once you get arrested on Friday night, you cannot call your work and let them know that you're in jail. So you just do a no call, no show. You locked up. You get out of jail on Monday at noon. When you get out of jail on Monday at noon, they took your car. So you already owe, $1,500 to get your car back. So you need $1,500 to get your car back. You have got all these fines you got to pay now. Now the big kicker is you ain't lost your job, right? Remember that job that you it's so secure, right? That you love your boss. Well, actually, you hate your boss, but you love your job so much, right? Because you need your job, but you hate your boss. You hate everybody at your fucking job, right? But that's okay because they ain't just fired your ass because you got locked up, okay? And when you got locked up, you just spiral out of control. So now the place you staying at, because you probably staying at an SRO, or maybe you renting a place. Well, now they ready to kick your ass out because once again you live paycheck to paycheck and you done lost your job. You trying to figure out how you gonna get your car back. So now you spiraling out of control, right? And then once again, ask yourself this question, like, why you drinking and driving? You know, like you live in the city. But then I actually knew someone that this happened to. Like by the time they got out of jail, because when they got arrested for a DUI, they ended up getting caught with like other things, and they ended up like having some altercation with the police, had more charges. So they didn't get out of jail like, you know, within 2 days. They took them like longer to get out of jail. By the time they got out of jail, someone had literally broke into their house and like stole all the good shit that they wanted, because they thought that, yo, you're gonna be in jail locked up and the people are gonna kick you out. So his friends literally broke into his house and stole his shit. So he lost all of his stuff, majority of his stuff, lost his car, lost his job, and then he was on the street. But he actually ended up moving back to with family, because he, you know, had some family to go back to. But that's one way you can find yourself on the street. Yo, I tell you a more messed up way you can find yourself on the street. One, it ain't even go. This one don't even have to be your fault, yo. You can just go get hit by a car. Like, think about it. You just go out there and just go get hit by a fucking car walking across the street. And that can mess you up right there. I mean, think about it. What are you going to do? Like, you get hit by a car and they take off running. And no one catches them. You can't sue them. You can't get no insurance money. You know? So, like, to get tripped up in the city, you don't even really it don't even have to be your fault. Like, you don't have to be hanging around the wrong crowd. I mean, you could be hanging around the most perfect crowd, right? You know? So, like, you know, whenever I tell this, I'm not trying to tell this story of like, oh, it's going to happen because this person was doing something bad. No, it may not necessarily be something bad. Like, okay, maybe you're a model citizen, okay? Once again, it's a lot of model citizens that don't make a gazillion dollars a year, right? You're a model citizen, and you over here, you walking down these steps, right? And as you walking down these steps, you slip and fall. As you slip and fall, you hurt your back, right? Now, once you slip and fall, cool. Let's say the city give you $300,000, okay? So you got $300,000. You got you a little change, okay? Got you a little money. You ain't never had no 300,000, but you wouldn't just, you know, won a little lawsuit because you went slipped and fell at the park. You know, you stepped on one of the things and it broke and you fell, hurt your back. But in the process of all these things happening, you become addicted to pain pills. You've never ever did drugs your whole life. You ain't never smoked weed your whole life. You ain't never drunk alcohol your whole life. But you was at the park and you was walking down the steps, you slipped, you hurt your back, you was in the hospital, you got paid, you got plenty of money. And now, a year later, you on the street. Because you went and you blowed all the money. I don't know. You know, things lead to another, you know. I knew this one dude. Dude, check this out. I knew this one dude. Homie wasn't just doing good, right? But he was doing okay. He was living in a rent-controlled building, all right? His landlord came to him and was like, yo, I'll give you $10,000 if you move. This is very common around here. Like, if you live in a rent-controlled building and the rent is very low, like let's say the rent is, you paying $1,500 a month, but maybe the next door neighbor is paying $3,000, right? So sometimes the landlord will come knock on your door and be like, yo, I'll pay you to move, right? And if you agree, what the landlord can do is raise the rent to current value once you move out to the next person that move in. So basically, the little money, the little $10,000 the landlord is giving you, he probably gonna get that back within the next year off of the new tenant. That's basically how it works, okay? And in this scenario, homeboy didn't take $10,000. He was like, no, I don't want to take $10,000. Like, I've been living here for like 20 years. I love it. It's a beautiful house. Like, I don't want to take it. Landlord comes back with $25,000, all in cash. And homeboy had never seen $25,000 in cash like that someone was about to give to him. So when he saw the money, he just automatically signed the paper. Like automatically signed the paper, right? Because he just wanted the money. He was like, fuck it, I'll move. I just want the 25,000. Homie went bought an $8,000 bicycle, and all of the rest of the money, he blowed all of that money in about 2 months. Now, the landlord that the landlord that got him to move from the rent control place, the landlord actually did not leave him hanging. The landlord actually hooked him up with another cheap place, right? Hooked him up with another spot. So and I think that I'm pretty sure this other spot he got hooked up with was rent control. And homie he could have been cool, right? He could have had some money in the bank, you know. But homeboy, when he got all that money, he literally just got high like every day, smoked himself to death, to like not to death, but like smoked himself until he was literally living on the streets. And when I first met him, he wasn't. He was good, you know. As one way people end up on the streets, yo. That's one way people end up on the streets. I know, like you guys are like, wow, that's some insane shit, but luckily in America, you have second chances. Who you knew personally, who knew that potential slipping and falling in the park could cause. Yeah, I know a slip and fall in the park could definitely cause someone. Yeah, yo. I mean, to get hit by a car, you don't even have to be in the wrong. You could just be walking across the street when the crosswalk says walk and someone just runs a red light, you know? Like you don't have to be doing anything wrong. Like it can just be a complete accident, right? I would have did it for 10,000. Um, I think the reason why he didn't take 10,000 because the guy came over with a check. The landlord came over with a check. The second time he came over with cash, and he saw the cash, and when he saw the cash, he just wanted the money. So he was like, "Yeah, I'll move," you know. And right after he took the money, it wasn't that long after he just like start to go downhill, you know. My uncle got robbed violently and had to close his restaurant because he was the main cook. Oh, that's messed up. You could have been in jail for expired tags and get into a fight defending yourself and get more time. Exactly. Like one thing can easily lead to another. Now in the city, like the police don't just mess with people like they do like in other parts of the country, like I hear. You know, I'm not trying to say that you can get away with anything here, but like I don't just hear about people just I don't really hear about cops like just messing with people like that. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it still happens, but I don't hear about it as much. Or maybe you're just doing something really stupid. I was literally trying to explain this to my brother. Like people choose to be homeless, and he wakes up and chooses to be an addict, homeless one day. No one. Well, see, some people choose to be homeless. Like some of the young people, like I say some of the young people they choose to be homeless because you got to think if you're on the street and you're 25 years old, you could probably go home, right? But if you're 40, maybe you can't go home, right? Maybe your family's dead already, you can't go home. But if you're 20, I mean, you could probably like fit like a cousin or a brother or you probably got some family member. You probably know somebody in the family that you're cool with that like, you like this cousin, you like this person on this side of the family, but like you ain't cool with the other side of the family. I mean, things happen, yo. Like things happen. Like people trip themselves up. Ether is super expensive now, and to think I had an opportunity a couple years ago when I could have gotten it for $200, thinking it was expensive, then honestly, how do I feel? In the future, blockchain. Agreed. Cops are much. Yeah, cops here are very different. Like cops in the South, yo. Like I remember growing up down south because dude, I talked to my boo, and my boo like hates cops, right? Like hates cops, okay. And I actually don't hate cops. I'm just gonna keep it real. I don't hate cops because it's a job that I respect because that's a difficult job. It's a job I wouldn't want to do. So like, and I also like the fact of like if something happens and I'm afraid, like I can call the police and like, I don't know if they're gonna be afraid, but like maybe they show up, you know what I mean? Like if it, whenever I hear someone say defund the police, I say to myself, you're not strong enough to handle defund the police because for real, think about this for a second. If you for real down with defund the police, you got to be the type of person that whatever happens, you don't call the police. Like for real, like if you for real about defunding the police, you whatever happens, you go crash your damn car, you keep going, you don't call the police. Most people will be like defund the police, but then when they go to their house and they see their house broken into, the first thing they do is call the police, right? So how you gonna be like defund the police, but then oh, I hate cops, but then whenever something happens, the first thing you do is call the police. Or whenever you see some violence in the street, you see an old lady get beat up, you see an old lady get mugged, the first thing you say is call the police. But remember, I thought you said defund the police, right? But like, but down south, bro, I remember down south, man. Whenever I would be in the car, like driving, and we pulling up to the police, it's just like we get nervous and shit. Like it's just not like that out here. It's not like that. But if I go to a place like Texas, I'd probably be nervous and shit. They just make a report. Well, yeah, they do, but I mean, if you for real about defunding the police, like you wouldn't call the police to make a report, right? Think about it. Yeah, but the thing about defunding the police, yo, that was so fake. Like that shit was so fake. Like they didn't defund anything. I mean, come on, y'all. They didn't defund anything. Like they just let people chant and scream that out in the street. Nothing got defunded. You know, maybe they said, "Oh yeah, we're gonna defund." Yeah, that's bullshit. They didn't defund anything. How you gonna defund when all this like crime is going on? Like how you gonna defund when all this crime is going on when businesses and everything's opening back up and there's just more people out, more things going on. Like how are you gonna defund the police, yo? And then think about it. Who is literally gonna vote for defund the police? Like for real, think about this. Who is gonna vote for it? Maybe a few young people will vote for it. But majority of voters are not protesters screaming in the streets, defund the police. Majority of voters are people that are like a little bit older. Are people that, are, not 20 years old. 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. People in their 60s, you think they are gonna vote for defund the police? Like think about it. You think they're going for that? Man, if they say defund the police, anything, old people are gonna do the opposite, yo. Like you gotta think about the full pie, right? You can't just think about the little sliver that say young people. You gotta think about the full pie because it ain't just young people voting. Like it's a very diverse group of people voting, you know. And it's a lot of people out here that don't care shit about Black Lives Matter. I'm just gonna keep it real with y'all. There's a lot of people that don't give a fuck about Black Lives Matter. So when they see black people out there screaming, "Oh, defund the police," they may smile at that and they may be like, yeah, defund the police. But in the back of their mind, they're like, we need more fucking police. That's what they're saying, yo. That's what they're saying. People don't want to defund their police because they can't do their jobs right. We don't need militarized police to deal with stuff like mental health. Yeah, I totally get it. I totally get it. But then what do we do in what do we do in What do we do in a situation where like there is one police officer that is patrolling one particular area, and you want to, cut the budget for the police? And what do you do when they remove that one cop? Or maybe you have two cops that patrol, this neighborhood, right? What do you do when you have to remove one of those cops? Like, what do you think is going to happen to that neighborhood? I don't know. I'm just going to let people figure it out. I mean, if you believe in defund the police, believe it. I think it's bullshit. I think it's stupid, and I don't think they ever defunded anything. I think maybe some police officers went on TV and was like, "Yeah, we're gonna defund the police." They did that last year, but they didn't defund anything. They got more money because I mean, come on, y'all. They're just not gonna they're not gonna let people get away with everything, dude. 2% of the protesters here weren't even black. Honestly, shootings here have increased. Shootings here probably did increase, y'all. So they don't want militarized police, but freaking a lot of the police came from the military, so figure that one out. A lot of them came from the military. That's why they're police, because they were doing this stuff in Iraq and they're doing this in another country, and now they're like police, yo. Easy to say defund the police when you don't live in a high crime area and have never seen criminals out of control. Man, the reason why I cannot be about defund the police, because I see too much shit happen in the street. Like, I see way too much shit happen around here. I see too many fights. I see too many jackings. I hear about too many things going on, and I'm like, yo, get rid of the police? Are you fucking crazy? I mean, that's kind of like, telling me to take off my clothes and just go right around naked. Like, hell no, you crazy? Like, it's cold out here, yo. Everybody gonna see my junk, I guess, there's other places it's my junk. But I don't know, it's just like, I don't know if that made any sense. And how these criminals would stop gang members on their own. I mean, I don't know how they would stop gang members on their own. Like, gang members it would be like other countries, yo. They would just take over certain neighborhoods. Like, you would go to certain neighborhoods, and that neighborhood would be controlled by these people, and you would go over here, and that would be controlled by these people. And I really don't think people can police themselves in the U.S. Like, not in this country. Maybe in other countries around the world, but not in this country, because we are too divided. We're way too divided. And I would say maybe a country with like a very small population, maybe they could easily police themselves. But America, with all the rich people and the poor people, and then the American history, and there's no way we could police ourselves. No, it would be a killing match. That's what it would be. It would be, white people killing black people killing white people, old people killing young people killing. It would be a free for all. That's what I would think. I'm about to get off her, y'all. I'm just going on and on and on. Yo, hopefully y'all like this stream. Hopefully it wasn't too depressing about how people get on the street in San Francisco. But hopefully y'all can learn a little something from that, Basically, what you can learn from that is freaking have you some damn kids. That's what you can learn. Don't be too selfish living in the city. Have you some kids, get married, get the fuck out the city, yo. Like, for real. Like, I'm just gonna keep it real. Get the fuck out the city. If come on, when you hit 30 years old, you hit 30, 40 years old and you ain't doing shit in the city, you still working at Starbucks, like, I mean, you can still work here, or you can just try to go somewhere else and do something else, because it's real easy to get sucked into the cycle here. But then it's also real easy not to get sucked into the cycle. I mean, it really depends on who you are around for the most part. It really depends on who you are around, dude, because that's exactly why I don't really hang out with a lot of people, because I want to control my influence. You know what I mean? I really want to control my influence. I want to control what's going into my head, because then people will lead you astray. They'll lead you going all off in another direction. Or sometimes, you'll get around people, they'll see you going somewhere and they'll talk you out of what you want to do, just to keep you from going somewhere because they know that they can't get there. So I don't know. It's tough. It's tough. I mean, when I think about do I want to live in the city all my life, I think if I think there's a couple things that would keep me living here a long time. If I can continue to scale up my life here, it would be worth it to stay here. If I continue to find myself stagnant, where like I'm living in the same place for 3 years, right? It's time to go. It's time to go. If I'm not like constantly doing something else, if I'm not constantly going up the ladder, it's time to tap out. It's time to leave. It's time to leave the city smiling. It's time to leave with to say, oh yeah, I lived there and I had a blast. Instead of getting to a point of like, you're over it. You want to explore something new, but you're used to it, right? You're used to it and you don't want to leave because it's easy. You can walk here, you don't need a car. You get sucked into that and then you finally find getting pushed over, someday. So that's kind of how I see it. I see it if I'm not progressing, I need to go somewhere else. I need to go somewhere. I need to do something else. But maybe it's different maybe it's different, for you guys. But that's just me. Hey, Jermaine, what's your favorite credit card? I don't know. I never said no. I don't hate the police. I didn't say I just like love the police, but like I didn't say I definitely don't hate them. Doesn't have to be a Republican. This should be common sense. Yeah, Latch did drop 17%. Yeah, I still believe in Latch. Yeah, I still believe in Latch. They're not going to be profitable for a couple years, you know. Also, I hope that we viewers are a good influence. I think you guys are a good influence. Yes, I think you guys are good influence. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna get off here. I'm gonna go hang out and do something else, something with my boo or something. I may do a live stream with my boo tomorrow or tonight. You guys want me to do a live stream with my boo? It might be a little fun. You can ask my boo questions. My boo told me something last night that was so goddamn over my head. And I don't know, maybe that's why I was like, yeah, we need to do a live stream. Oh my gosh, you guys know me, Kevin? He was in San Francisco today. He was in San Francisco today. And gosh, I want to see him. I think he's staying at that hotel at Fifth and Howard. Anyway, I'm out. I love all of y'all. Rewind the video, it'll be up. I'll see y'all later. I'm gonna go. Bye bye.